Like, and I've always told you that. I told you that from the very beginning. I was just like, and I have that gut feeling about certain people, and I had the same thing about Tana, and same thing about Jeffrey, and same thing about certain people where I'm like, everything is in waves, right? Like popularity, this, whatever. But like, no, like you're literally, are you serious?
I agree.
So it doesn't matter if your videos are this or that. It's like, so anytime you say that, I just want to like no, it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter.
It's actually not even true though either.
Heart.
Like your channel is actually doing very well.
It's just because you read Twitter and everyone's like, wow, you really are sucking me. You know, when you hear that, you're just like, oh, like.
I think it's going to be so interesting. I was just talking about this with someone this morning, but the mental side effects that you guys are dealing with, and every influencer who's been on the platform, especially for as long as you both have been, there's just so many like mental repercussions that you have to deal with because of reading comments and thinking that, you know, you always have to do something next, and not having a schedule and not having a routine. There's just like, I just can't wait till it's actually studied and you guys.
Well, Shane is the one YouTuber. I mean, I know you have your own issues, but you've never like had like, you don't have mental health struggles really, right? No, like you don't. Do you?
Yeah.
Would you consider it? Like, not like bipolar or schizophrenia.
Nice to meet you.
Like, I know you like go through like depression, but like bipolar and stuff, like not that kind of stuff.
I see what you're saying.
Like borderline personality disorders, like
no,
those things.
I see. I actually very recently have been like, okay, I actually need to like, I went to therapy for certain things and issues, but the biggest issue I have is body dysmorphia. And I always thought like, oh, body dysmorphia is like you look in the mirror and you think you're fat, and that's it, right? And then as I started gaining weight, I was like, well, now I'm just getting fat. I'm not body dysmorphic. I'm just seeing like the truth.
No, you are body dysmorphic because you always say you're fat when you're not starting to catch up.
But body dysmorphia also has a whole nother thing I didn't even know, because I never fully looked in, because once again I get like scared and triggered and like, oh, what am I gonna find out? But literally like body dysmorphia also makes you anxious, depressed, makes you stay inside all the time, makes you hide all the time, makes you pick your skin, which like I've always had my arms and my neck just like little open wounds because I just pick because I'm always anxious. And like it was like all these things, mood swings, like all these things that like I was like, oh my God, I should get actually treated for this. Like I talked about it in therapy, but then the discussion always went back to bulimia. I'm like, oh, now that I'm not doing the bulimia anymore, I need to like really look into the body dysmorphia, because I didn't know it was like that.
It's like, so that's kind of like a mental illness.
I mean, I don't.
Well, I think there's a large
like
difference between there's mental health issues just in general, but there's also, personality disorders, and then there's mood swings, and then there's actually stuff like, bipolar and
so what's
all
body
that stuff.
Dysmorphia fall under?
I think it is a mental disorder because you have to go to psychotherapy for it.
I
don't know what. It's not a personality trait or a mood disorder or anything. It's I don't know. I think for me it falls under the same stuff as anxiety and depression and just not loving yourself and like all of that.
Is it something you're gonna live with forever? Like I think my issues I'm gonna live with forever. I don't know.
Yes, I think I'll have this forever,
no matter what.
So like,
yeah, I agree.
No, you won't.
That sounds so hopeless. I don't know. Maybe
like,
I won't. Maybe
no.
I can get
like, first of all, in therapy, like when I was going through all this, like you can't say, like,
No,
even if it's true, like you can't put that in the world. Like you are doing everything in your power to get better. Period.
So my therapist says the same thing. I'm like, yeah, but no matter what, I am going to be this like needy person. I'm happy being single now. I'm everything. But like, as soon as I get a boyfriend again, I'm going to like, I just know myself. Like I understand logically everything people say. Like, okay, you can't be dependent on a guy, but I will always be like, and I don't know if that's PTSD, if it's something from childhood. And so
like,
that's what I think.
It's not like you don't have to be like you're putting it into the world.
When, like PTSD, like people who go to like war. I mean, you can't just like get rid of those thoughts.
That's a little bit different. Like these are thought patterns that are able to change.
No, but it's something from my childhood is what I'm saying. It's stemming from my childhood. Is the reason why I'm like needing love from these people. And I was the same thing. I mean, with like your childhood, I mean, you've had like a pretty traumatic one too. So part of me thinks both, like that's why I think we like always connected, because we both have like I think it's PTSD. That's a very like strong word, but I do think it is, because it's like something from childhood still is like triggering, in some way. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's like, how do you cope with it? Like, I think all your issues, you have certain ways that you cope with it, and some of them might be unhealthy or toxic or whatever. Same thing for me. But like, I think you, as you're growing, I feel like you've learned, I know. I feel like everything I say now, people could like take and make me look like, I don't know. I feel like everybody
think
hates me
she's
right
learned?
now.
No.
You think she's learned?
Well, no, but I do. Like, I mean, I told you when I walked in this house, I was just like so overwhelmed because I was like, oh my God, like I've envisioned you being happy in a happy environment, like for so long, and it like made me cry. It was like crazy, like seeing, I don't know, just the energy here is so good. And like, cause I mean, I've been here for a long time with you. So like this, I don't know, just the whole thing. So I feel like you are coping with things better. And I do, and I see, like, I'll see a tweet of yours being like, I'm about to pull up my kitchen floor, and then the video won't come. And I'm like, good.
See, I
Restraint.
really pay attention to that. I
see
never
your
know.
tweets, yeah.
Okay. Because
That did happen or 2 weeks ago.
yes,
I
I talked about it on the podcast because I got. Well, I'm not going to even bring up.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not
don't
going to
even
even
need
hint
to.
the situation. Doesn't matter. But I made the video and everything, and I had it edited, and I was like, and I woke up the next day or whatever because I was like, I'm just going to sleep on it, whatever, because I was like doing that, and I was like still kind of like annoyed. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm so happy because I was living here now, and I was like, I'm so happy. Like, I don't, and also like kind of like what you were saying, like people think I love attention and all attention's good attention. I do drama for attention, but it actually gives me anxiety. Like, you remember, like, even not to bring it up, but like Halloween, like 3 years ago, my issue, like that gave me anxiety. I couldn't eat. Like, I was even posting it, I had anxiety. Like, I remember you were there with me. I went downstairs. It was you and Drew in the kitchen, and you're like, I don't, like, for the record, Shane always is like, that day he's like, you shouldn't make a video. And I was like, because people will sometimes like, because we're friends, like, wow, like, Shane, why aren't you reaching out to Trish? It's like, well, we do talk, and also he does tell me like, don't do this, but also like, I was like, nope, going down and doing it because I needed to at the time. But also, I mean, I regret those videos, but like, I guess the whole point of that is like, I know like I can now be like, I don't need to do that because I'm happy. Then I wasn't happy. I was like, I want to bring down everybody, even earlier this year, and now I'm just so happy. So like but it gave me anxiety was my point. I came back up and I was like shaking. I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared, like whatever. And that's what it was like this year. And then when I was going to post that video, I was getting that same anxiety. Like, are they going to try and call YouTube to get my channel down? Are they going to be mad at me? Are people going to come to my house? Like, I started getting those anxiety pits, and I was like, none of this is worth it. Like, I'm, so that's kind of, so I guess I have like, coping, I guess is the right word. Cause like, you'd never really get over trauma, maybe fully, but you could cope with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that you really came like all the way around to that.
Yeah.
That's really because you are getting better, both of you too, every day. And like, that sounds really preachy, but like that's something that I think you really have to remember every single day. Like that's the goal, is to get better. Like, you're not always going to have the same problems. You can keep working on it. And trauma is trauma, of course, but like there's always things that you can do to get yourself better.
I look, and again, not to be like all emotional, but like I look at you like truly, because like when we were friends, you were in like such, can I say this? I don't know. You were like in this like really kind of like dark space, even though like you were good. You always been successful in what you do. Like, you were like had a movie coming out, like all this stuff.